You're like 12 hours into a shift, right? Three pagers are going off, and a patient's relative is yelling at the nurse's station.
Oh, yeah, it is just total chaos.
Exactly. You don't have time to breathe, let alone, be mindful. But what if taking a 3-second pause in that exact moment is the only thing standing between a successful shift and a fatal medical error?
Well, your survival instinct pushes you into pure autopilot mode at that point. I mean, you aren't really making choices anymore. You're just executing reflexes.
Yeah, that makes total sense. So welcome to this deep dive into Dr. Feng Cheng Carr's book, Jom Mindful Gem Now. Our mission today is to equip you, our hardworking Malaysian healthcare professionals, with a brief, powerful technique to interrupt those stressful autopilot reactions.
Because let's face it, your reality is grueling.
It really is. Long shifts, crowded wards, and just running on pure willpower. Okay, let's unpack this.
So Dr. Fang uses this brilliant analogy for the chaotic healthcare life. He says it feels like playing Pac-Man.
Oh, Pac-Man, like the old arcade game.
Yeah, exactly. You are constantly moving, navigating these hospital corridors, and you are dodging ghosts. Right. But the ghosts are time pressure, fear of making mistakes, or, angry relatives.
And when you are playing Pac-Man, you don't stop. You just react. You reply too sharply, you rush, or you just shut down entirely because the game is way too fast.
Right. You just keep munching the dots and running.
But wait, I have to play devil's advocate here for a second. Isn't rushing a requirement in a hospital? Like, if we stop to take a mindful pause, aren't we risking patient care? I mean, time is literally life on a ward.
This raises an important question, actually, about the difference between reacting and responding.
Okay, how so?
Well, reacting is fast, sure, but it is impulsive. It is that pure fight-or-flight panic. Responding, on the other hand, is wise. Taking a micropause doesn't actually delay care.
It doesn't.
No, it really prevents critical errors. It stops you from emotionally shutting down because it gives your brain just a millisecond to switch from panic back to logic.
So if a micropause prevents that emotional shutdown, what does that actually look like in the middle of a code red? I mean, we can't exactly sit cross-legged on the clinic floor and meditate.
Right. No one is asking you to meditate in the ICU.
Here's where it gets really interesting. The book introduces the Mindful S.T.O.P framework. No jargon, just 4 simple letters that act as a physical interrupt to that stress response.
Yeah, so S stands for stop. You physically pause your rushing hands and that automatic tongue of yours.
Just freeze for a second.
Exactly. It breaks the physical momentum. Then T is take a breath. When you take that conscious breath, you aren't just anchoring yourself, you are physically interrupting your sympathetic nervous system.
Telling your body it's safe to engage the logical part of your brain again.
Spot on.
That makes perfect sense. I like to think of stress like holding a heavy saline IV bag. If you hold it for 10 seconds, it's nothing.
Yeah, super light.
But hold it for a 14-hour shift without ever putting it down, and your arm goes completely numb. The S.T.O.P technique is just finding a hook to hang the bag on for 10 seconds, right? Just so blood can return to your hands.
That is a great way to look at it. And then O is observe. You look gently at your mind and body without any judgment.
Like checking in with yourself.
Yeah, like, are your shoulders tight? Is your chest heavy? Are you feeling defensive? You just gather data about your internal state.
And then P is like, oh, proceed wisely. So instead of asking who is right or who is wrong, you ask yourself, what is helpful now?
Let's see how this physical interruption plays out in the real world. Dr. Fang shares a story of a junior doctor who was corrected very sharply by a senior doctor right in front of the whole medical team.
Oh, wow. The classic public scolding.
Yeah, it happens a lot, right?
It really does. And the immediate autopilot reflex is usually overwhelming shame or, getting super defensive and wanting to argue back just to save face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But rather than spiraling into that shame or fighting back, this junior doctor uses S.T.O.P. They pause their momentum. They take a breath to reset their nervous system.
They do the S and the T.
Right. Then they observe their tight chest and their fear of criticism.
The O.
Yes. And then they ask, what is helpful now? Arguing isn't helpful. Spiraling isn't helpful. So they choose a calm response, thanking the senior and correcting the order safely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, that tiny micropause shifts the brain from a state of total stress to a state of balance.
So the pressure didn't disappear, but the doctor didn't become the pressure.
Beautifully said.
So what does this all mean for you listening? Let's distill it into 3 main messages. 1, you cannot eliminate stress in healthcare, but you absolutely can interrupt it.
Yes, interruption is key.
2, S.T.O.P is your tool. Stop, take a breath, observe, and proceed wisely. And 3, Asking what is helpful now is always better than asking who is right or wrong.
Which leads us to what you can do next. The next time your stress level spikes on shift, and it definitely will, try just one mindful stop before you react.
Just one pause. The book has this really beautiful concept, self-care is we care. So we are leaving you with this thought.
It's a profound one.
When there is no patient in front of you, are you remembering that the caregiver deserves care too? If self-care truly means we care, then bringing yourself out isn't a badge of honor, it's actually a risk to your patients. What happens to the quality of care in an entire hospital when the culture finally shifts from rewarding exhaustion to normalizing the pause?